I keep trying to avoid the light, and it just keeps showing up. Light worker. I feel like light worker is like a new age term for all of these, like, I don't know, empathic, spiritual, psychological skills and abilities. Maybe I'm not totally accurate about that, but I just have fun celebrating light. It's kind of cool. Through all my experiences of healing, what has become, I guess, clear to me is that the brain doesn't really like change. Like, the amount of times that I've just had to, like, you know, like, stop myself, like, in a moment, and when I'm about to, like, react this way, I do the best that I can to react another way instead, right? Or respond, right? I remember learning that reacting is from a place of, like, unconsciousness and autopilot, and responding is from a place of conscious awareness, because, like, you're actually taking a second, you're taking a breath, and you're like, let me not scream my fucking brains at you, because that would just be repeating a pattern that I learned in childhood. And to be able to do that is really cool. But part of me wants to say that it's actually absurdly challenging sometimes, because, like, depending on the situation that I'm in, somebody might be, like, actually screaming their brains out at me, right? And, I mean, as of late, the cool thing that I've been doing that's been really transformative has been, setting that boundary. You can be screaming your brains out at me, but, I'm over here enjoying the symphony in my mind and heart, And I don't have to get consumed by your energy. That, in and of itself, is part of that decision of change, right? Because what I'm used to is taking on a person's energy, right? And being consumed by that. What I'm choosing is the boundary of, it's not my responsibility to take on your shit, and quite honestly, I don't appreciate that you're screaming your brains out at me, but fortunately, I'm aware enough of myself to be able to know the difference between know the difference between what is my stuff and what is your stuff, and I'm not about to take on your stuff. I've spent plenty of years doing that, and quite honestly, it's draining and it's exhausting. It fucks my day up. I don't need to do that, right? Yeah, I feel like the brain, the entire body in and of itself, doesn't really like change. It likes to stay with what's comfortable, with what's familiar and all that stuff. But the more that I really just, like, surrender to the change, right? It's more so a belief that changing and healing and growing and evolving is hard or challenging or difficult, right? Like, everything that is possible, all potentials exist in the present moment. Kind of quoting what Dr. Joe Dispenza says. It's like, it's just the reality of it. Like, in every single moment, I can choose to be how I want to be. I'm usually going to have to step outside of autopilot and what is familiar and what is comfortable. When I want to react from a place of, I've got to kind of just, like, no, I'm going to choose to break this pattern and, not be that way that I could be, right? And it's very liberating. It is, because I discover myself. I discover self-control. I discover me. I meet myself, and it's a very rewarding experience. And I'm grateful for all those times that I wake up from the autopilot and I can actually choose something different. It's awesome.